Okay, now we're live. Okay. We just did like a whole show, and I didn't hit go live. We've got Anita in, we've got Hallie in. Oh, the names are going too fast. All of the premium, all of the paid, the premium subscribers, the people who have been supporting us here at Every Hornets Box Score, they're jumping into the chat right now. Hit me in the chat. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see them all. It's the first time we've ever gone live, and what a time to do it. The Hornets, they've traded Colin Sexton. They're getting back Coby White from the Chicago Bulls. This was one of the trade areas that we have been talking about on Locked On Hornets in particular. The Colin Sexton wasn't quite fitting. They wouldn't even play him when they weren't starting LaMelo Ball. They were using Sion James to start. Didn't seem, maybe the culture fit was off. Maybe the game fit was slightly off. And now they have traded for Coby White. And I'm just going to level with everyone. I've got Evan here. He is pulled over. He's on his lunch break. He's not endangering anyone. Chandler says, love the move. Is there a way I can, like, there we go. Love this move. I wanted Coby, but I didn't think the Bulls would take another guard back in Colin Sexton. Well, the Bulls, I mean, they're in full sale mode, which is great for the Hornets because that's just one more team that can fall down for them to get into the play-in. But I do want to say this. I'm doing like 3 jobs right now. I'm going to try to get Locked On Hornets ready to go live. So you are like just getting a peek into the office right now as I wrap up my Yahoo job. We just got off the air, and I've got some stuff to do for that too. So I'm going to kick it to Evan while I try to get my thoughts together, get my stuff together. Evan, what do you think of this trade, man?
So Coby White is a much more consistent scorer off the bench, which I think is solid for us. And Colin Sexton, I was talking. I have some friends who are Bulls fans, and I was talking to them, and I was worried about losing Colin Sexton in a sense of like energy on the bench, energy in the locker room, like that kind of grit, that grind. And he was telling me that he was sad they were losing Coby White because he's that guy who is constantly working to get better, constantly like raising the standard in the locker room from what I've heard from him. So while we're losing Colin Sexton, we are getting a guy back, a young bull, if you will, with a little, with
An
an
actual
actual
younger
young
bull,
bull,
a younger bull. Yeah.
but he's younger. I think it's a good fit. I think we're from what I've been looking online, I'm trying to figure out because Usman Zhang's in the trade, and we can't take on 2 contracts. So I heard rumblings that we were trading Mason Plumlee for Usman Zhang.
Well, so the way I read the Shams tweet was that Jang is being rerouted to the Bulls.
Yeah, but we can't take back 2 contracts in the trade because we have a full roster. So we had to
Oh,
trade.
well, that's why. And I told Walker, he was like, let's jump on and for Locked On Hornets, and I was like, we probably just need to wait a few minutes for this all to settle because I think the details, will become more clear. But I don't expect, and I think Mike Conley was also involved in this as well. And so I don't expect Mike Conley to play for the Charlotte Hornets. I think he's going to probably end up back in Minnesota. This was
Yeah,
a way to
yeah. They can.
to get him
Like,
back
if
there.
we cut him, he can go back. If the Bulls
Yeah.
would have cut him, he couldn't re-sign with Minnesota. But because
Yeah.
that's how the rule works, so I think he ends up back in Minnesota, which is good for Minnesota. Um, I see talking about Coby White is a worse 3-point shooter than Colin Sexton. He is, but he's also a more consistent scorer, and the defense is similar. I'm just excited. He went to North Carolina. He's got the ties to the state. I think he's a great fit for the team. I'm just excited, man. I think he has like no games this season scoring in the single digits. Like he's just consistently a solid scorer, which the Hornets are so good at having so many guys contribute. Where I think he'll be another one of those pieces, and this is a move to me that says, "Hey, we're making a push for the play in here."
Yeah, I will, and factor this in too. Kobe White's 6'5".
Yeah,
Like one of the big things, like you struggled to play Colin in certain areas. Like remember early in the season when Trey Mann was getting some pivotal minutes over Colin Sexton, even though Trey Mann was struggling. I'm sure part of that was they invested in Trey Mann. They wanted to try to skill him up, get him back in after being injured for so long. But I think part of it too was that like there were some guard assignments where it just made more sense just to get a little bit more height because you can shoot over the top of Colin Sexton. Kobe, they're going to be able to do some switching stuff defensively that they would not have been able to do or they could have done it, but it wouldn't have been as successful with Colin Sexton. So I think this is this is going to be, well, I think it's about a couple of things. It is about a different kind of scoring. I think it's about uh, the height, and I think it's also probably going to end up being about a culture fit that wasn't quite right with Colin Sexton because like he did have that intensity and that and they talked a lot early in the season about how he was the embodiment of competitive joy. I just wonder if like his brand of competitive joy, if it wasn't as joyful for some of the other players on the team, like I just didn't see Colin Sexton involved in a lot of the other interactions that the meet cutes interactions that we've been seeing from LaMelo and Musa and Brandon and Khan, and I just wonder. I don't have any confirmations on this or solid reporting on it, but I just got a sense that the fit wasn't exactly right.
Yeah, no, I think so too. And I was pretty sure just from all the reporting and all the things I've seen that Colin Sexton likely wasn't going to resign either because of the money or because of the situation. So Coby White, I wasn't sure. I know he went to North Carolina. He's also from the state of North Carolina. I just saw a tweet come out and said he's back in his home state. So that maybe they haven't talked to his agent probably because Coby White's a tier of player. Like you're gonna call Giannis if you're gonna trade for him, his agent and stuff. Kobe White maybe not so much, but maybe you feel better about resigning him maybe on a little bit more of a team friendly deal, in that regard. I just got a notification. It looks like the Bulls are trying to reroute Colin Sexton. So I guess it was just more to get off of Coby White at that point. Um, and Mike Conley.
Yeah, what's I haven't even honestly I haven't even looked up the contract
It's
details
13,
for.
it's an expiring deal of $13 million. There's a little
No,
small.
so Kobe's expiring as well.
Yeah. So I guess maybe you think that he helps you compete right now, and you can also probably resign in his home state. Maybe you can help resign him a little cheaper deal, you know, hometown discount potentially. And either way, I think he's going to do better. Haley mentioned that Coby could do better. Shooting will improve with a better offense. I think that the ball movement was so stagnant in Chicago
Yeah,
that he was
that's a good point.
mostly trying to score off the bounce. And that's so much harder to do. I think he's going to have a lot more catch and shoot opportunities. And I feel like every Bulls game I've watched, he's been fire from catch and shoot three opportunities.
Yeah.
So I admittedly haven't watched a ton of Bulls games this year. I like Manas and I like Josh Giddey and I do enjoy watching Coby White play. So I get all that, but I think that
70. Just real quick, 77th percentile in points per shot attempt at 117.5. So to your point, like the 3-point shot might be less than Colin. And look, Colin's points per shot attempt were great too. But on super high usage in Chicago, 28.8% this season, 69th percentile in assist percentage, 50% of his offense from three, 80% of his offense at the rim.
Sean just said we traded Mason Plumlee in that trade, and those seconds are
Okay.
coming from the Thunder. So we traded Sexton and Plumlee, and that's all we sent out. Those seconds came
Wow.
from the Thunder.
Wow. You just acquired Coby White. And you didn't even you didn't have to send out a single asset. And you did it with a player in Colin Sexton that you actually got an asset in the acquisition of. I mean, what more can you say about old Sheffy Jeffy?
Coby White, Mike Conley, and a second round pick. That's crazy.
And they didn't Wizards. They didn't fall for the AD thing. Like so far, I mean, hold on. We got a little bit of a trade deadline left here. We'll see what happens. But like, man, I right now, as I sit here and just ruminate on it, I'm excited about this deal.
I'm very, very excited as well. Bulls tank mode. The Bulls are definitely taking a step back. They're looking to trade Ayo Dosunmu. I just got notification. Ayo Dosunmu, Colin Sexton, and what was the other name on there? I just got a notification. They're looking to trade Anthony Simons. They're trying to offload everybody. They're trying to offload all the people they got it, plus Ayo Dosunmu. It's exciting for the Hornets. I think I was already feeling his win streak was probably going to end in Houston. Like, don't call me a pessimist here, but now with Colin not playing, he's not playing. I don't think Kobe's going to be good to run tomorrow. Maybe he is. If he plays, then maybe. But I'm excited. I think you're going to see going to the All-Star break. We're hot. We just added a guy who's been killing it. I'm excited. I think that this is probably the only move the Hornets make. And the point percentile, you said it was 77th percentile. That's a lot better than Lonzo Ball's first percentile. which is nice.
Oh yeah, no, and this probably anyone who was hoping for Alonzo Lamelo, this probably kills that. I still think they could make a move to get off of Trey Mann's contract. I think that's still there's still a possibility there. There were some rumblings about Goga Batadze. I would not be in love with that move. Like to bring another non-shooting big onto the roster, that feels insane to me. So I hope that Google Bitcoin doesn't find his way to Charlotte. But if he does, it is some added defense at the rim that's probably a little bit quicker than Ryan Kalkbrenner. Give him some time to figure things out. But that deal is just rumbled about, so we'll see how everything comes together.
Hanley said, "Do you guys think that Jeff is still cooking, maybe baking up a center, or is it Mike Conley?" I think if the Hornets buy out, um, the Hornets buy out Mike Conley, we'll have a roster spot, and we might. If Giannis is traded, I could see us taking on a contract in that because we also would have cut money too. We'd end up having like $5 million off the books because Coby White's contract is less, and we got rid of Colin Sexton. Coby White's contract is less than Colin Sexton's by like $2 million, and we will have gotten rid of the $2 million vet mint too. So an extra $4 million on top of whatever cap space we have. So I could see that being having a roster spot take on a contract.
Cool. All right. I'm gonna hop off here because I'm going to get Locked On Hornets ready to go live. So Walker will join me here in about a half an hour, and we'll talk if the Hornets have done anything else by then, or if some of the details have come to light. We will further analyze those. So make sure your YouTube notifications are ticked on. Just want to say thank you so much for supporting every Hornets box score. We want to do more stuff like this. So tell your friends, tell anyone that you know who's a fellow sicko to join up here and support what we're doing here because it makes it absolutely possible to do this and more. Thanks, Evan, for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
All right, we'll see you in a few.